Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Hi everyone, thank you so much for having subscribed to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who have known me for a very long time, you should know that I'm a big fan of Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland, and I'm very excited about the release date happening in summer 2026. While we can't confirm for you the release date of Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland just yet, as it etches ever closer next summer, I will have more details when they become available. So stay tuned to this YouTube channel, and don't forget to ring the bell to stay up to date with notifications and to subscribe for upcoming videos. You're really going to love it here on this YouTube channel. I promise you that. For those of you who have been subscribed to my YouTube channel for a very long time, for the better part of the last year and a half, you will know that I'm a big fan of Dove Cameron's TV show Liv and Maddie, a show that nobody ever thought would excel to the heights of popularity that it did, for how funny it was, how unpredictable it was on times, the powerful cast. So many different factors contributed to Liv and Maddie's profound success. It went 4 seasons with over 75 episodes produced and created so many memories for me and everybody who ever said proudly they were a fan of Liv and Maddie. You know, I have a lot of girls who are friends who are probably 25 now who remember watching Liv and Maddie when they were like 15 years old. And it brought back so many childhood memories, seeing me upload all these videos about Liv and Maddie for them. And I'm sure you watching these videos, although we have never met, it probably brings back a lot of childhood memories for you. How funny Dove Cameron was on times, portraying both Liv and Maddie with the assistance of a stunt double. Very rarely would they use a stunt double. But Dove Cameron did such a fabulous job with the character traits, separating these characters and making them unique and making them so fun to watch. What really set the show on fire was just how unpredictable it was for every given moment that Dove Cameron was on the set of a TV series, and having to juggle a personal and professional life with everything she had to endure, from her father's suicide to the death of her friend when she was just 8 years old, which is truly traumatic. Dove Cameron put everything aside just because she wanted to be a celebrity. She wanted to be a star. She wanted to be famous. She wanted to be everything all in the one. And she had the opportunity, with the incredible support of her mother, Bonnie, who uplifted Dove Cameron and her entire family and moved to Los Angeles so Dove Cameron could audition for this TV series. That gave me so much profound respect for Dove Cameron in my heart. And I have forever and always been supportive of Dove Cameron. While I may have criticized Dove Cameron in some of her life choices, I know she's just young and she's trying to figure out her life and her place in the world. She's probably got a better place or idea of where she wants to be in the world and stay for the rest of her life now than she did when she was 15 years old. I have a lot of respect for Dove Cameron and everything she's had to endure, and that includes that ridiculous relationship with Ryan McCartan just over, I think it's been about 5 years since herself and Ryan McCartan separated. It was in 2016 they separated, so that would be about 9 years, and of course the relationship with Doherty ended 5 years ago. Both relationships were ridiculous. They were publicized unbelievably and unnecessarily publicized, and I think the media really blew it out of proportion. Of course, Dove Cameron and Ryan McCartan first hit it off on the set of the TV series Liv and Maddie, and it really broke my heart seeing everything Dove Cameron had to go through. It was one thing hearing about it, but seeing it in video footage on YouTube that people went as far as to upload really broke my heart. And I want to put it out there that Dove Cameron never did anything wrong in these relationships. While it will be said by Ryan McCartan and Thomas Doherty that they were treated unfairly by Dove Cameron, I think that a lot of the time in these relationships, Dove Cameron didn't even have a voice, and she couldn't use her voice, or at least she felt as if she couldn't use her voice. She felt like she was in a position where she was kind of trapped, and she wanted more than anything to get out of these relationships and alleviate the pressure that people like Ryan McCartan and Thomas Doherty had put on her shoulders. The thing was, they wanted everything to seem so perfect. They wanted Liv and Maddie to be a profound success, and they worked to make Liv and Maddie a profound success, just as they worked to make Descendants a profound success. I mean, if not for the contributions of Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson, of course, God love his soul, God rest his soul, Cameron Boyce, Descendants perhaps would have never been elevated to the position it was to take over and become the most popular Disney franchise of all time and be the inspiration behind Zombies, which everybody is thrilled over because Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires is getting rave reviews, and now Zombies 5 is being speculated on. What will the release date be? What was inside of the Vortex? What will happen next in Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland, focusing on present-day Wonderland with Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker coming back to reprise their roles. You know, while it's been argued that Dove Cameron could come back to reprise her role as Mal, or should at least come back to reprise her role as Mal, consider it. She says she's closed the book on Descendants because she believed, for one, they told the story and completed it, and doing it without Cameron Boyce wouldn't feel right. I think it might have been just an excuse for Dove Cameron to close the book on Disney and try to leave the Disney past behind her that she's trying to desperately forget. Another excuse for her to do that. She was just looking for a door to exit through, and Disney obviously provided provided her the opportunity after they believed they had told the story through the power of a trilogy directed by Kenny Ortega. Now Jennifer Fang comes in with Descendants: The Rise of Red, Kimmy Gatewood by Descendants 5 with a different direction. So many factors contributing to this, and Dove Cameron being very honest about her opinion about the Kamau character and reprising a role as Descendants, leaving it as a responsibility now for Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker to carry that torch, which they have done so fabulously. But I think that a TV series, Liv and Maddie, if not for its profound success, Dove Cameron would have never been elevated to the level of superstardom that she is at right now, recording hundreds of hit songs for the Billboard charts, selling millions of copies of her albums on iTunes and Spotify. Off DoveCameron.com, you can get all the latest details, buy her music, buy concert tour tickets, which I'm really happy she's back with a rhythm doing now because she's performing again after she took a year off and everybody was saying that, okay, Dove, you gave up on your career, you quit on us all, what the hell happened? Again, that's jumping to a conclusion. Nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors. And that saying has never been more true when it comes to Dove Cameron, because I've heard it so many times over the years. People just look for the most controversial things and try to surround themselves with controversial opinions and reviews about their favorite celebrities, because that's what people like Perez Hilton have made a reputation on over the last at least 25 years. I remember being a teenager going to PerezHilton.com and hearing ridiculous reviews about people like Hilary Duff and Lindsay Lohan posted on PerezHilton.com. And I mean, it was all over social media. It was all over PerezHilton.com. Years ago, you didn't have anything for social media referencing. So what you would have to do is go to websites like PerezHilton.com. There were no Facebook. There were no X accounts. There were no YouTube. YouTube never premiered until April 23rd of 2005, and it was the heights of shit. So you would have to go to websites like PerezHilton.com, and I remember how people would have all these reviews up about people like Lindsay Lohan and Hilary Duff, and it was just juice. It was just the most negative of reviews posted everywhere. And I think that if PerezHilton.com would have been able to profile Dove Cameron that same way 20 years ago, they probably would be doing it now just as they are now with the power of social media and making it even more worse for people like Dove. I remember how Dove Cameron got her breakout role as the star Liv and Maddie on the show Liv and Maddie. Of course, it was because of Bella Thorne on the TV series Shake It Up years ago when they were playing Dove Cameron's music in the background. Bella Thorne heard her song, thought it was hot, reached out to Dove Cameron on social media, and through the power of social media, Disney executives realized the popularity of Dove Cameron and gave her an opportunity. Because what Disney does is Disney has this habit of sprinkling you everywhere, in the words of Dove Cameron, on a TV series just to try you out with the audience. And if the audience loves you through the power of the music playing in the background, or a song, or some kind of clip that you're featured in, they will give you an opportunity to be on a show like they did with Bridget Mendler years ago, who I never give enough credit to. I mean, she went from Wizards of Waverly Place fame all the way to her own show, Good Luck Charlie, and then eventually went on to become the CEO of a space station with her husband after having a hit album released in 2010, 2011, going to the heights of superstardom. It's all because Disney sprinkled her somewhere on a show, Wizards of Waverly Place, and then went from there to Good Luck Charlie, a show that had over 100 episodes produced with over 4 seasons and became one of the most revered TV shows of all time. The same thing can be said about Liv and Maddie, because as far as I'm concerned, Liv and Maddie was a TV series that ended long before its time. And I mean, I sacrificed a lot when it came to Liv and Maddie. When I say I sacrificed a lot, I sacrificed a lot. I injured my arm on the way home to catch the latest episode of Liv and Maddie. You know, I fell down on my way home to catch the latest episode of Liv and Maddie, drove my elbow halfway up my arm, went to the doctor that same night. He told me I needed emergency surgery, no questions asked. I asked if I could go home and watch Disney Channel, so I had to watch Disney Channel home that night with a broken arm, a couple of days before I had to have emergency surgery. Everything turned out okay, but I have a large scar on my left elbow because of Dove Cameron. Do I regret it? No, I don't regret it. Because Dove Cameron deserved the respect. Dove Cameron deserved the support. And I think she never did get enough support because of how emotionally connected she was with everything that she did. I mean, she was emotionally connected with all of her fans. When a fan would tweet her about being bullied in high school, Dove Cameron would make a consistent effort to reach out to that fan and touch their heart by giving them advice on how to handle the situation, because Dove Cameron herself were in similar situations in high school. There's a situation with Sophia Carson from years ago that isn't very profiled, but there was a rare article online that discusses how Sophia Carson actually had to switch schools when she was in high school because she was bullied so much she couldn't handle it, and she had to transfer schools. That's an actual story, a real life story that a lot of people don't really talk about, and Sophia Carson kind of shies away from herself. But I remember reading it actually about a month and a half ago, and it's something that I noticed was never talked about enough. And that's why I give people like Emily Osmond a profound amount of credit on the show for portraying the character in Cyberbully, when it showed how much of an effect cyberbullying can have on our lives, because it's not just in high school this happened. It happens in everyday life, in everyday situations. It happens online all the time. So that's kind of why I wanted to create this show. I wanted to create this show because this show would offer you incentive. It would offer you incentive to create. It would inspire you to become stronger, and that's what happened for Dove Cameron. I mean, Dove Cameron's workout regimens are truly unbelievable. It's unlike anything that I've ever seen in my life, and I give Dove Cameron a profound amount of credit for getting her TV show Liv and Maddie to the heights of popularity, to promoting it to the way that she wanted to promote it. And I think that Dove Cameron could have been a producer for Liv and Maddie at a particular point in the success of that show because it was a profound amount of success. I mean, you take into consideration shows like Gabby Dern and The Unsittables, Coop and Cammy Ask the World, Kylie Control and Ruby Rose Turner's roads to success. While the shows only lasted 2 seasons, it provided Kylie Control and Ruby Rose Turner with the opportunity to have more doors opened up for them, and that's the reason why they are captains of the flagship of Descendants right now, The Rise of Red, and receiving great reviews. It's just a shame that Ruby Rose Turner's time with the Descendants franchise was very short-lived, and when I say very short-lived, I mean very short-lived. My heart goes out to Ruby Rose Turner. I'm going to miss her for forever and always, having been a part of the Descendants franchise, and I still think she has a whole lot more to offer to the Descendants franchise where that conversation goes. For the life of me, I don't know how they're going to be able to produce Descendants 5 without Ruby Rose Turner, because the character Bridget was so bubbly, she was so exuberant, she was so full of life. There were so many words that I can use to describe Ruby Rose Turner, but all I know, and all you should know, is that I miss her dearly, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. And while I can't speak for everybody out there, I'm sure I'm not the only guy who feels the same way that I do about Ruby Rose Turner, because I love her so much. There was just something about Ruby being so full of life, and she was just so genuinely kind. And I think there was a point in time in Dove Cameron's life where she was just so genuinely kind too, and still is. There's just a point where Dove Cameron gave up on wanting to be kind and just never gave a shit anymore about what people thought of her. And because she stopped caring about what people thought of her, she ultimately became a stronger person and openly admitted in interviews that she had never felt this strong. And that's something that I give Dove Cameron a profound amount of credit for turning her life around, despite what critics said about her, and becoming a stronger person and inspiring people themselves to become stronger. And Dove Cameron succeeded at that. The album Alchemical and that song Boyfriend received a fair share of criticism for Dove Cameron coming out as bisexual in 2022. By 2022, there were a lot of rumors about Dove Cameron and her direction in life. People were being very questionable about it. I myself was questionable of Dove Cameron's life choices, but I became introduced to a whole new outlook on Dove Cameron's life, what Dove Cameron wanted to perceive herself for having been, and ultimately I became more respectful of Dove Cameron's life choices. While other people choose to criticize Dove Cameron, I chose to support her, and people who have subscribed to this YouTube channel are continuously supportive of Dove Cameron, whom I believe that we can never give enough support for, because of all the criticism she's received, regardless if that was because of her relationship with Ryan McCartan, regardless if it was because of something going on in her own life she couldn't make sense of. Dove Cameron will forever and always go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time, if not one of the most revered. You know, the comparison between Dove Cameron's music and Miley Cyrus's music have been made time and time again, but I think that Dove Cameron creates her own type of music that's very different from Miley Cyrus. While it's been said that Miley can sing anything and create anything having to do with music and be an inspiration to anybody, I think Dove Cameron can be looked at in that same kind of light. I have a lot of favorite songs from the Liv and Maddie soundtrack. One of my all-time favorites is What a Girl Wants, is a great song. Better in Stereo is probably my top song of the top 5 Liv and Maddie songs. There's another song called On Top of the World, which is a really catchy song to me. You, Me, and the Beat are some of my favorite Liv and Maddie songs. But if I had to pick my all-time favorite song, it would have to be the theme song of Liv and Maddie, because I listen to that every morning of my life. It's a beautiful song. Frollo Yolo is another great song, of course, themed around the Frollo Yogurt Shop, which I've always wanted to work at. I've always wanted to have the opportunity to wear a yogurt uniform and work at Frollo Yolo and come in and be Dove Cameron's new love interest for the TV series Liv and Maddie. Now, while that may sound like I'm putting myself over for wanting to be Dove Cameron's new love interest in the TV series, I just feel as if Ryan McCartan wasn't really living up to my standard, really wasn't living up to my expectation as a fan of Liv and Maddie by how he treated Dove Cameron on and off of camera. I mean, there were times on the set of Liv and Maddie where he was just treating Dove Cameron so horribly. And we got that from a tweet that she sent out to a fan years ago, where she just simply said that the reason for their breakup was because Ryan McCartan had treated her horribly. And many of you may remember me from last year saying a lot of very to-the-point things about Ryan McCartan. I wasn't giving him very great reviews. I was very opinionated, very outspoken about Ryan McCartan. I became very outspoken about Ryan McCartan because I believe no girl deserve to be treated that way. And I still stand to that because I'm an advocate for women's rights. For those of you who have been subscribed to this YouTube channel within the first 150 subscribers that have been put up on this YouTube channel, I really was an advocate for women's rights because I really believed that Dove Cameron deserved to be treated better than what she was by Ryan McCartan and Thomas Doherty too. Because she thought the world over them. She thought the sun shined out of their eyes, beat it out of their hearts. And she put them before everybody else in her own life. Things that she shouldn't have put them before, she did. Because she wanted to prioritize them. You know, there were many times that I used to watch Dove Cameron fall asleep every night when she used to record videos before she fell asleep, showing you guys books that she wanted to read, talking about Descendants, talking about her career paths and her choices. And Thomas Doherty and Ryan McCartan were nowhere to be seen. But she wanted you to know that she loved you guys so much before she shut her eyes every night. All she ever wanted was for a guy to take interest in her, and I believe she found that with Damiona David more recently, and she's never been more happy to be involved with a partner and in a relationship, which I give her a profound amount of credit for having done. It's just I wish more people should give Dove Cameron and show Dove Cameron the respect that she deserves, because she really, really does. I mean, when she goes above and beyond the requirements of a celebrity to really put herself out there in a way that nobody's been able to put themselves out there, I give her a profound amount of credit, and I will forever and always be very supportive of Dove Cameron because I think we can never show enough credit and support for people who deserve it. My heart goes out to her 1,000 times over, and I will never ever say anything negative about Dove Cameron. While it's been argued that she should have never closed the book on Descendants and should be reprising her role as Mal for a fourth, a fifth, a sixth installment of Descendants, I believe the decision was ultimately hers to re-sign a contract to portray her role as Mal. And I mean, we shouldn't really close the book on it. Right now, Dove Cameron's at a point in her life where she's still, I guess, trying to figure out her place in the world after all the criticism she received for some of her life choices. Of course, 2022 was one of the greatest years of Dove Cameron's life in her mind, but she was also subject to a lot of criticism for all the life choices she made. Ruby Rose Turner had to make a life choice when she was just 12 years old, and she was incredibly courageous coming out at the age of 12 years old. I mean, who does that? Ruby has a profound amount of credit from me and respect from me because she did that, because a lot of people would just kind of remain silent about it and not come out till years later about it. But I mean, people like Ruby Rose Turner and Dove Cameron, incredibly courageous, incredibly strong, and huge inspirations for all of us. I will forever and always believe that a show like Coop and Cami Ask the World didn't get the respect it deserved, didn't get the time to really evolve into something spectacular on Disney Channel, because it was one of Disney's answers to TV shows like iCarly, which was the heights of popularity for Nickelodeon, and ultimately became Nickelodeon's most popular TV show, with the power of Miranda Cosgrove being the captain behind that show, really steering the ship, if you would, for Nickelodeon. So that show could have easily become Disney's answer to iCarly. I ultimately thought Bizaardvark, with Kylie Cantrell having a reoccurring role on that TV series, was meant to have been Disney's answer to iCarly, but I think Coop and Cami Ask the World could have been put in a position to really take over. And I can't forget to mention how incredibly beautiful Ruby Rose Turner was. I remember seeing Ruby for the first time about a decade ago, and I knew she had something special. I remember seeing Dove Cameron in that same generation. And I knew that people like Dove Cameron and Ruby Rose Turner were going to set Disney ablaze, set the entertainment industry ablaze. While some of their career choices and life choices may remain questionable, I think that they still have a long way to go. And about 10 years from now, give us another decade, I'm going to have nothing but good things to say about people like Dove and Ruby, because I love them so much. I follow them on social media all the time. I do it out of respect to them. And if I do comment on their pages, I leave the most positive reviews as I post on YouTube, because I just want them to hear and see something nice about themselves. Because I'm tired of these celebrities having to Google themselves and being afraid to Google themselves because of what they're going to find and what they're going to read, what they're going to watch on YouTube. When people like Kylie Cantrell won't YouTube themselves because they're afraid of what they're going to see, I think that is absolutely ridiculous and really upsetting to me. So I just wanted to replace that with great videos that people would find, you know, interesting, and hit the subscribe button and the like button because of. Because I know I'm not the only Liv and Maddie fan watching this video after having created it. There are a lot of people out there who are going to watch this video, who remember watching Liv and Maddie when they were probably 13 years old, who felt inspired by Liv and Maddie because of the music and the story. And I have never ever wanted to discourage anybody from being a Liv and Maddie fan. I know this because I have a lot of girlfriends who have been fans of Liv and Maddie for their entire life, who are still watching it, which is an incredible feeling to know that these videos do inspire somebody, to give them hope so that they never quit on their dreams. Because one thing that I've always wanted to do forever and always is to give you guys hope that dreams can happen for you and eventually will, even if they haven't before. They will happen for you no matter what that dream is. It could be joining the cheerleading squad, joining the gym, and I want you to feel empowered. So if you're thinking about joining the gym, then go for it, because you only have one life to live. And if you haven't spread kindness before in your life, this is the perfect time to start. I know there are people out there watching these videos who do spread kindness, but if you've never done it before, I think now is the perfect time for you to start spreading kindness, because there is never enough kindness seen in this world. And when you really sit back and put it into perspective, kindness really does go a long way in this world and does have a profound effect on somebody. And I just want to put it out there that while I believe there is never enough kindness spread in this world, that doesn't mean that it can't happen for somebody. I love you guys so much, and I want to say thank you for having taken the time out of your lives to subscribe to this YouTube channel, for just being here and being such a huge fan of Descendants and Zombies and Liv and Maddie and everything that Dove Cameron, Kylie Cantrell, and Malia Baker have done. Because I think Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker have done an absolutely fabulous job after having the torch passed to them. I mean, nobody else who would have been given this opportunity probably would have done as fabulous as a job as the characters Red and Chloe Charming. But they did, because they realized how much a profound impact Descendants and Liv and Maddie had on their lives. Kylie Cantrell created a YouTube show called Hello Kylie, which I watched ever since 2009-2010, reviewing her favorite Disney Channel shows, which included iCarly, Victorious, Sam and Cat, and a show like Liv and Maddie, which was a huge inspiration to all of us for the music, for how powerful a portrayal of a character Dove Cameron did not just once, but for two different characters, despite how many times they would have to use a stunt double. It's unbelievable. This is really an incredible experience of my lifetime that I will never, ever forget. If someone was to ask me, do you think I would be reviewing Liv and Maddie 15 years after its success, when it saw its series finale in 2017, just 4 years after its premiere in July of 2013, I probably would have said you're crazy. But Liv and Maddie got to the point it was at because of each and every one of you. It didn't get to the point it was at because Dove Cameron wanted to be the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, and the greatest of all time. It really happened because of all of you and the reviews that Liv and Maddie were getting. I mean, thousands of people were watching the show, yes, because of Dove Cameron, but not just because of Dove Cameron, just because of how fun the show was. It created a lot of fun memories for me, and I think that of that generation, while it will be argued shows like Girl Meets World should be given that accolade, and with no disrespect coming from me from Girl Meets World and Sabrina Carpenter and Roland Blanchard, I just feel as if people like Sabrina Carpenter are very overrated. And they are very overrated. When you're opening up your Facebook page every morning or your X account and you're always seeing a post relating to Sabrina Carpenter, then you know, and you can make the assumption that they are definitely overrated. So I just kind of wanted to take that away from people like Sabrina Carpenter and give that to somebody who really deserves it, and that's Dove Cameron. Dove Cameron, with 45 million followers on social media, may not seem as if she is anything but overrated, but she definitely is somebody who deserves a lot of credit for all the success she's had, all the success she has yet to see, and something that I just really am excited to be a part of. I've always wanted to be a part of covering people like Dove Cameron, Peyton List, because they are beautiful people, and they still have a long way to go, and I'm really excited to see where we go from here and what the future has in store for not just Dove Cameron, but the fans of Dove Cameron, the fans who were incredibly supportive of TV shows like Liv and Maddie. I mean, you can't tell me that you weren't a fan of Liv and Maddie, because I know you were. You may have had a favorite episode of Liv and Maddie of the 75 that were produced. You may have had a favorite moment that Dove Cameron gave us as a performer, as an actress. No matter if it was with Liv and Maddie, it could have been with Descendants. Because that portrayal of the Mel character for the Descendants franchise was very powerful. And if not for the portrayal of Dove Cameron's character Mal in the Descendants franchise, I don't think Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker would have ever gotten to the heights of superstardom that they got to. I mean, Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker, while it will be argued, I think that if not for the success of Dove Cameron, she perhaps would have never gotten to the position she was in. So I give her a profound amount of credit for having done what she's done, not only for the stars of the past of Disney Channel and Disney Channel movies, but also for the stars of the present too, because I don't know if for Dove Cameron's success, we wouldn't be seeing the same success we're seeing now for Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker. Kylie Cantrell is full of talent, but you can never have enough creative direction given to you or enough advice. And I think Dove Cameron's done a fabulous job with securing the future of both Disney Channel TV shows, Disney Plus movies and TV shows, and a franchise as powerful as what Descendants is. I know for certain I will never forget the profound impact that Descendants has had on my life, and it was because of each and every one of you who fell in love with me and fell in love with this channel. And I have each and every one of you to thank for that, because without each and every one of you, I honestly do not know where I would be this morning. Thank you so much for all the love and support you have shown this YouTube channel. I will be back later on tonight with another great video for you about Descendants and Zombies, which I can hope that you will join me for. I'm going to have a whole lot of fun with what I have to say about Descendants and Zombies that has yet to be said as we count down the years, the months, the hours, the seconds to the premieres of Zombies 5 and Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland, which is a title I honestly love. I want to say thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. If you have not subscribed, you're probably going to want to do that because I have a lot to say where Descendants and Zombies goes and your favorite TV shows starring Dove Cameron, like Liv and Maddie. And, of course, I'm a huge fan of TV shows like Coop and Cammy Ask the World, Hannah Montana, Wizards of Waverly Place, Sweet Love of Zack and Cody. You get the gist. So if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, you're probably going to want to do that. This is the best Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel in the entire world. If you have not subscribed, join me on this incredible journey. Why don't you? And let's experience Descendants and Zombies the way it was meant to be experienced and reviewed. In a positive way, with a positive vibe, spreading a message of kindness, letting people know that kindness really does go a long way in this world, and you can really go further by being kind to one another. Keep kindness in your heart as I will keep you in mind. Bye, YouTube. With that having been said, we will talk again in just a few hours from now. Be kind to one another.